It's Case Study Friday here at SDI Radio. Get ready for a real, recent example of a deal that's going to motivate you because it's real and it's repeatable. I'm Bryan Ellis. This is episode 162.
You're listening to Self-Directed Investor Radio, America's only podcast exclusively for affluent, self-directed investors, where each day of the week you receive innovative investment strategy and deadly accurate market analysis that's untainted by Wall Street and unblemished by government propaganda. All in 7 minutes or less. Coming to you now from iTunes, Stitcher, and SDIRadio.com. Here's your host, Bryan Ellis.
Hello, SDI Nation. Welcome to the podcast of record for savvy, self-directed investors like you. About 10 days ago, I shared with you an extraordinary opportunity involving our passive property flipping program. The basic idea is this. In select strategic markets, we at Self-Directed Investor Society serve our clients by providing access to the SDI Flipping teams who acquire, renovate, and resell properties for our clients. Our numbers have been consistently extraordinary. In fact, we had another closing just yesterday in Phoenix. I'll share the numbers with you on that one in a couple of days. But as for today, there's another deal I'd like to share with you. This one is in our hottest target market of Stockton, California. In that market, we purchase great properties, usually from the trustee sale, then renovate and resell them. Nearly all of our projects there turn around in 4 months or less, even those that require evictions after foreclosure. So it's a crazy hot market, to say the least. Anyway, here's the deal. Many of you have listened into the webinar we offered about this over at SDIRadio.com/Stockton. You heard the reasons it's a uniquely perfect market for flipping and why it's still somewhat accessible to individual investors. You know that Realtor.com pegged Stockton as the 11th hottest market in the country, and that it's one of the 9 hottest markets in America that are all within about 100 miles of each other. Without a doubt, that area of Northern California is the hottest real estate region in all of America. So here's the case study. It's actually an update of one of the examples I described in the webinar there at SDIRadio.com/Stockton. And yes, that webinar is available now if you'd like to check it out. In that webinar, I gave a whole lot of case studies, including Houston Avenue, where the project netted 26.8% cash on cash in 97 days. Mendocino Avenue, where the project netted 30.3% in only 7 months. Mist Trail, where the project netted 22.2% in 67 days. Now, all of those are examples without the use of leverage. Those are straight up cash deals, making those ROI numbers even more impressive. But of all of the examples I gave you, there was one that was unique because it was in escrow at the time I made the webinar 2 weeks ago, unlike all of the other examples that were closed transactions. Of course, I fully disclosed that distinction in the webinar and was using that property, Guernsey, just as an example of the freshest possible activity. So that property was in escrow, and based on the contract price and closing date, it looked like the property would sell for $200,000 and close on November 26th, which would yield an astounding net return of 21.9% in only 49 days. My friends, 21% in a whole year is a beautiful result. So 21% in only 49 days, that's just stratospheric. But my friends, not everything goes perfectly in real estate, and that's what happened with Guernsey. The buyer ended up not being able to close, and the deal fell out of escrow. Bummer, right? That was going to be a really great deal at a sale price of $200,000. Well, sure, you never want deals to go south, but remember, this area, Stockton, is the 11th hottest market in America. What exactly would you expect to happen when a good property goes on the market in a super hot area? You guessed it, it sold, and it sold quickly, and at a premium price. The original contract that fell through was for $200,000. What was the new contract price? Well, it's a cool $220,000, a nice 10% jump over the original. And we've got a solid buyer who, by the way, is putting down $100,000 in cash. And one other nice little item, it closes soon, so this entire deal will still only be about 3 months long, beginning to end, but with a total net yield of a whopping 34%. Yep, you heard that right. Folks, we've got great things going on in Stockton right now. It's really exciting and really profitable. If you'd like to check out the possibilities for yourself, just stop by SDIRadio.com/Stockton right now. And you know, this is a strategically extremely important period. That's because back in June, there was a strange spike in the volume of foreclosures in Stockton. The number of foreclosures for that 1 month alone tripled. A huge spike. Now, here's the thing. The properties that started foreclosure during that spike in June, well, they hit the trustee sale during December and January. So there's going to be far more opportunity even than normal during those 2 months, and it's really exciting. And the timing couldn't be better because houses purchased during December and January will be back up for sale, will be done with a renovation, and have them back on the market during February through April. And that's one of the hottest times to sell in an already super hot market. In other words, Right now is a beautiful window of opportunity. So, my friends, let me encourage you with the example I shared with you today. And that's not the only one. Our crew picked up another house just yesterday, and the all-in cost after renovation and everything will be just shy of $300,000. And then we'll sell it for $400,000. After everything, if history continues as it has, then this deal will net about $80,000 in 4 months. If you're doing the math, that equates to a cash-on-cash net of about 26% in 4 months. Folks, if you were actually pocketing just half of that, you'd be doing incredibly well. So here's the thing. If you'd like to check out more about how we're doing this, you should go over right now to sdiradio.com/Stockton to check it out. There's a great webinar there, and if you're an affluent investor looking for a way to passively participate in the extraordinary flipping markets of Northern California, you found your chance. So take a look at sdiradio.com/Stockton right now. And my friends, invest wisely today and live well forever.
Thank you for listening to Self-Directed Investor Radio with Bryan Ellis. Don't miss a single episode. Be sure to subscribe to Self-Directed Investor Radio right now on iTunes, on Stitcher, and at SDIRadio.com. Your feedback is always welcomed via email at feedback@SDIRadio.com. This show is for entertainment purposes only and is not intended as legal or professional advice for your situation. Content is the property of the Self-Directed Investor Society.